Hello and welcome. This is your election headquarters and this is Election Brief with me, Araba Kumsin. Coming up in today's edition, Electoral Commission identifies busing of people as underlying factor for conflicts at registration centers as it registers over 9 million applicants as of 20th July. We'll bring you details. Also, former president and flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, suspends visits to voters' registration centers over COVID-19 protocol concerns. And MP for Damongo says 2 suspects arrested by the military with guns for allegedly facilitating the registration of foreigners are local warriors who are protecting residents from armed robbery.
Last year, almost 5 people died on attack. So the communities there came together, get some local warriors to be protecting them.
And also in this piece, National Peace Council wants the governing NPP to initiate sanctions against MP for Ewutu Senya East, Hawa Kumsin, for dragging the name of the party into disrepute and embarrassing the person who makes her a minister.
The President of the Republic who appointed her into that office has been embarrassed.
We are live on your digital TV because we are free to air also on your DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Stay tuned in. Thanks for your company. Now, over 9 million prospective voters have been issued their voter IDs at the end of phase 3 of the ongoing voter registration exercise. According to the Electoral Commission, as at day 20 of the exercise, 65.7% had projected of the projected figure had registered. Addressing the media at its Let the Citizens Know series, Deputy Chairman Operations of the EC, Samuel Tete, said the Commission has identified the busing of people as an underlying factor for conflicts at registration centers. It follows reports of violence at some registration centers in the country, including the Kaswa incident involving the MP for the area, Mavis Hawa Kumsin.
One of the underlying causes of the violence we are experiencing at some of the centers. The political party agents are therefore advised to refrain from passing applicants from one electoral area to the other, since it is a grave source of conflict. So political parties and all those who are engaged in the electoral process must try as much as possible to refrain from passing applicants to registration centers. This is one of the underlying causes that we have detected, that it breeds a lot of what? Discontent, conflicts, violence, and other things at registration centers.
Well, the EC is also condemning and distancing itself from the shooting incident at the Steps to Christ Voter Registration Center at the Ewutu Senya East constituency in the Central Region last Monday. The EC Deputy Chairman is asking perpetrators to be brought to book.
Case in point was the temporary halting of the registration process at the center by name Steps to Christ Preparatory School in Awudete village in the Ewutu Senya East District in the Central Region, which occurred on Monday, where firing of gunshots temporarily halted the registration process. However, the police saved the situation and the registration process was continued. We are happy to state that our kids and officials are safe and the police have started investigations into the incident. As a commission, we condemn such acts, especially during a civil exercise like the registration of voters, and calls on the security agencies to investigate the issue as a matter of urgency and bring the perpetrators to book to serve as a deterrent to other would-be offenders.
Now, Now, former President John Dramani Mahama has suspended his tour of some voters' registration centers in the Greater Accra region. His decision to halt the activity hinges on what he believes are concerns over the adherence to safety protocols regarding the COVID-19 pandemic in the area, such as the practice of hand hygiene and the wearing of face masks, among others. The flag bearer of the NDC, in a Facebook post, explained that the low level of sensitization at some of the centers in Accra and Tema makes it unfavorable for his team to continue the exercise for the time being. Mr. Mahama further encouraged authorities to accelerate the education of the public on the novel coronavirus to help contain the spread and also ensure the success of the registration process. A video has been circulating on social media in which the former president is seen being mobbed by excited supporters. Watch. The Electoral Commission has, however, described the reason for the former president's decision as unfortunate. EC boss Jean Mensah said her outfit has put in place stringent measures to ensure people observe the COVID-19 protocols. She indicated it is incumbent on all stakeholders to ensure people adhere to them.
It's unfortunate that our former president in his tour or during his tour experienced the adherence to poor adherence to the COVID-19 protocols. As a commission, we have put in place stringent COVID-19 protocols across the country. And if you go everywhere else across the country, in most parts, these protocols are being adhered to the letter. Of course, in the beginning, we did experience some rush to the registration centers, making it difficult for the officers there and the security to ensure the social distancing protocol. But with the COVID-19 protocols, the thermometer, checking of the temperatures, ensuring that persons are wearing masks with water and sanitizers for registrants at the centers. This is something that the commission has done. There's been extensive training on it. There's public education going on radio and TV nationwide in all local dialects. And again, this is not just the responsibility of the commission. It is the responsibility of all of us to ensure that this is done.
Now let's head to the Savannah region because the Member of Parliament for Damongo, Adams Mutawakilu, says 2 suspects arrested by the military with guns for allegedly facilitating registration of foreigners are local warriors who are protecting residents from armed robbery. He says the suspects are warriors armed with weapons by local communities after about 5 people were killed by armed robbers last year.
Some ugly event happened at one of the polling stations called TB Kojokra. TB Kojokra is an old polling station since 2008. And we've had several registration and elections at that place. The recent assembly elections, there was limited registration there. But with this registration, military were sent. I have met them, we all agree. But I was surprised the military were the very people chasing the community people away, creating panic. Chase all their wives. That was on Sunday. Yesterday, Monday, the men decided to come back, and because the women were scared to register, so that when the place calmed down, they can go and bring their wives to come and register. Unfortunately, when they got there, the military attacked them, eventually resulting in arrest of 2 local warriors. I say local because that road leads to Dokrupe, which is this Galamsey's hotspot. And as a result, there have been frequent attacks by armed robbers. Last year, almost 5 people died on attack. So the communities there came together, get some local warriors to be protecting them. And has since then, we've not had such rampant armed robbery attacks. But the military picked these people, brought them, and created the impression as if they had armed themselves to come and do something. No. What I have seen is that they have given the armed robbers license to now attack. And if we don't take care, very soon we'll start recording armed robbery incidents at that spot. As we speak, the registration on that police station has been suspended. And I want to appeal to the electoral commissioner that they should look at it, investigate, and reopen to enable eligible Ghanaians to have the opportunity to register and vote on 7th December 2020.
You're still on the election brief with me, Araba Kumsi. Now, Chairman of the National Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Asante, is asking the governing MPP to institute disciplinary actions against the MP for Ewutu Senya East, Hawa Kumsin, for bringing the name of the party into disrepute by firing warning shots at a voter registration center. Reverend Asante says whilst the party prepares to sanction her, she must do the honorable thing by resigning. He spoke on JoyNews Prime.
All that we would say is that, the President of the Republic who appointed her into that office has been embarrassed. And she should do the honorable thing, if I were her, to resign from her position. I would also think that the Parliament, the Privileges Committee, would want to meet and discuss this issue. She's also a member of a very prominent political party, the NPP. And I wish that the NPP would take note of this and take action in respect of what she has done to bring their name into disrepute. And what I'm saying about her, I'm saying about all the others. I hope that the police investigation in the Brahafo, especially concerning this young man who has been killed, they will come out and will bring perpetrators to book. And if it turns out that these are people, whoever is behind that action belongs to any of the parties, they must be dealt with by the parties. They must be dealt with by the laws of the land.
Meanwhile, a leading member of the governing MPP, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, has cautioned the police against what he describes as selective application of the law.
With peace as a nation, and that is very disturbing.
You don't think they're working towards peace?
Absolutely.
The police are ensuring that...
I don't think even the police are working towards peace. Otherwise, these things will not happen. There seems to be a lot being kept under the carpet, and that is dangerous for our country.
The Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, that's Madam Hawa Kumsin, yesterday was engaged in some shooting. I'm sure it's come to your attention. So what do you make of this? There are those who are calling for her resignation and dismissal.
Well, I think this is the work of the police. If the police is unable to investigate or do what they are supposed to do, then we're in big trouble in this country. There shouldn't be selective justice at all in this country, no matter who is involved, be it the minister or even the president. The person goes wrong, the law should definitely take charge. The law appears not to be doing that now, and the police appears to be toothless, and it's very unfortunate.
And what are the questions for this?
Definitely that is left to the police itself. The police is supposed to be independent of any institution, of any government. They should work towards peace in this country, and the police itself appears not to be doing that, and that is disturbing to the nation itself. If we are not careful and this continues, then we are going to have a completely destroyed nation.
So the MD must be prosecuted.
They must be prosecuted.
How about the cause for their dismissal or resignation?
That is in the bosom of the president himself. I will not suggest that to him. There have been a lot of instances where the people are still there. Worst situation, that's that.
Now, I'm not a magician. Words of former NDC Deputy General Secretary Koku Anyidoho to suggestions of helping the NDC campaign team to boost its chances of winning the December polls. Mr. Anyidoho has been out of the public eye since he lost his bid for the General Secretary position of the party. Now, there have been reports of bad blood between himself and the NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama. Well, speaking on Asempa FM's Ekosi Singh show on Tuesday, Mr. Anyidoho, who now heads the Atta Mills Institute, said it's too late for him to join the campaign team.
Scoundrels should hear it in their ears, and the scumbags. Nobody has invited me again to serve on any committee. And so I spend my time nursing my baby, which is the Atta Mills Institute. It's 1 year, it's working. I love my baby, I pray for my baby is working. It's out of the cradle. I have time for that one. Those who have time for nothing, they can go ahead and become hangers-on. I've never been a hanger-on in my life.
But what your more I can say, your bitterness no any against NDC per se, but against John Dramani Mahama.
Where's the evidence? Why is it not vice versa? Why is it not vice versa?
Vice versa means also a time.
Why is it not vice versa? Why is it me?
To play any role in the campaign.
It's too late. I am not a magician. I am a hard worker. I am not a clairvoyant. President Mills called me 3 years and gave me time to work. I had to work, I had to think, I had to pray, I had to meditate. I'm not a magician. I never perform magic. I work hard.
Koku, knowing you, no,
I work hard. I'm not a magician.
You are a good writer. You are a good creator.
I'm going to register. I'm going to register, and I will vote.
Oh, you would register?
Oh, of course, and I'll vote. Because if I can't be running a civic education,
absolutely,
think tank and not vote
without performing your.
But I'm saying that I am not a magician. My records as Deputy General Secretary is there at the headquarters. Things that I did are there, including comfortable lead. So, including comfortable lead. What was I doing it for? Was it for the party?
Well, Mr. Anyidoho also condemned the arrest by security personnel of some persons in the Volta region accused of being Togolese.
But let us not create an impression that Volta region is being invaded by Togolese. As a Voltarian and as a son of the region, it's not acceptable. If you think that you have evidence to go against some people, fine. But this attempt to haul every Voltarian into one bucket, no. It must not happen. Look, it's a unitary state. Besides the fluidity of our borders. So if COVID has come and you are blocking borders, so be it. But don't go just picking people up and even from Accra to Kumasi, from Accra to Hoek, from Accra. It's something which has been happening since 1992. So the fact that we're in a Mami truck coming doesn't mean that we are aliens.
And just gone by is the former Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Let's stay with the NDC because the party is demanding the arrest of the Minister for Special Development Initiatives, Hawa Kumson, for firing a gun at a voter registration center. Madam Kumson said she fired the shots because she felt threatened. At a news conference in Accra today, the NDC's Director of Elections, Elvis Ifriankra, described the minister as a gangster.
This case has also been reported to the Kasua Divisional Police, including a video capturing Francis Tete, a known MPP thug, hitting our party's agent's head with a block. Yet, shockingly, the police have refused to act on this evidence till date. The third attack was executed by these same gangsters, brought in from Boku by Hawa Kumson, numbering about 13. On an NDC agent called Prosper at Amuzu Copper. This very attack was led by Atu Kumson, the first child of Hawa Kumson. Not satisfied with our aforementioned attacks, their next stop was the Kasua Newtown electoral area, which happens to be another stronghold of the NDC in Kasua. Nana One, the MPP constituency youth organizer, and a member of the Delta forces that stormed the Ayawaso West Wagon by-elections, led these gangsters of land guards to brutally assault NDC agents, leaving them with deep cutlass wounds on their heads. Again, the case was reported to the Kasua Divisional Police Officer with no arrest or invitation made till date. 2 days before the shooting incident at the Steps to Christ polling station, the MPP thugs, led by Hawa Kumsum, attacked and assaulted our ward coordinator, Abdallah, at the JoyNews electoral area. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it is worth noting that all these violent attacks on our innocent supporters were committed by the same thugs imported from Boku to Kasua by Madam Mavis Hawa Kumsum. The NDC is totally disgusted by the thuggish and criminal shooting incident involving a gang of MPP thugs who were led by Hawa Kumsum, which has received both national and international condemnation, and which have been admitted by the Minister of State herself. We condemn in no uncertain terms such thuggery, sponsored and led by a high-ranking government official and lawmaker who is supposed to uphold the law at all times. Hawa Kumsum has, by this singular criminal act and the many others committed before, and her gang, together with her gang, and all that they've meted out to NDC supporters and innocent Ghanaians in the last couple of weeks, demonstrated that she is a gangster.
To some positive news now, and the incumbent members of parliament who lost their re-election bid, or some of them, in the June 20 MPP primaries are still recovering from the defeat. One of them is MP for Mansung Kwanta in the Ashanti region, Joseph Albert Kwam, who says his defeat will not stifle development in the area. It comes amidst concerns about what happens to developmental projects initiated by the outgoing legislators. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin reports.
Joseph Albert Kwam says though member of parliaments are not directly agents of development, their lobbying capacity means a lot for their constituents. He has, for instance, facilitated establishment of technical and vocational training institution, among others, for the people. Chief of Party number 2 has handed over 5 acres of land for the establishment of another school. It will create jobs for the residents, especially those who are unemployed. We handed over 5 acres of land for the construction of the technical and vocational school.
Everything required is set for the project.
5 laboratories, including one for jewelry making, each with 200 capacity, will be set up at the proposed training school.
It's going to be a TVET Center of Excellence. Technical and vocational educational center of excellence. That's what it's going to. We all know that the president's priority now is focused towards vocational and technical training, and this is one of his projects. So they to be situated around the country, and one is going to be located here. Basically, it's going to be a training center where you have we have different types of. For here, we're going to have 5 different labs, trying to cover 5 different areas. And one thing very particular here is that a lot of consideration went into what is pertaining in terms of vocation of the people here, because one of the labs will be a paddy, is going to be a jewelry making machine lab. So all this have been put. There's going to be a state-of-art laboratories that will be put in here to give them the best in terms of they require the equipment that will be needed for them to have a very sound mind on it.
The technical and vocational training schools would empower the youth for better and responsible future.
It will help us, the youth, a lot, because within our enclaves, we don't have anything as such. So I hope it will bring a lot of development due to some technical and vocational thing that they will do, especially the courses they are going to offer. I think it will enlighten people to be encouraged to learn something, to start up something on their own.
I look at the future.
Mr. Kwam says such initiatives will eventually change the face of Manso Nkwanta constituency.
All what I was doing was to prepare the people to learn this vocation about mining, so that at the end of the day, when they find themselves into the land, they will do proper legal mining, they will do cleaner mining that will not destroy our water bodies, and that of what, creating live pits within our environment. So I feel that once I know once Honorable Techi is coming, he will by all means continue with the good works that I'm doing. And when it happens that way, Amasia West is going to be a good place to live.
A report by Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin.
And that will be all for Election Brief for today. I'm Barbara Kumson. Join us same time tomorrow. Sports Today is up next.